Okay, so let's talk about how we're going to play this new coat of paint rhythm. Let's review. We have basically four chords in this entire tune from start to finish. We have the F minor, the B flat 7, we have the D flat 7, and the C 7. And that could also be played the F minor to the B flat 7. We could just come up, shift that B flat 7 up to the D flat 7, and then slide it down one for the C7. So we can play it either way or mix and match just to get a little variety. Now when you're playing this, equally as important to playing the right chords is kind of the style of playing. It's kind of a choppy style of playing. So when I'm playing, I'm just going to play the F minor over and over again for a few seconds. So when I'm playing that, I'm not making an effort to play all 6 strings. I'm going to be content to just kind of play away at the bottom 4. So I'm just kind of not making any real effort to play all the strings. And then what I do on the left hand is as I play each chord, I'm just kind of releasing the pressure. I know it's hard to see, but I'm playing the chord and then just lifting my fingers off so the sound stops. So it's, you can probably see that the hand is putting the pressure on and off like that, getting a choppy percussive effect. So I'm going to play through the first 4 chords slowly using that technique. And once again, on the right hand, just kind of a slap, 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 slap. No real effort to play all 6 strings. So I'm going to go through the first 4 chords. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Or we could come up to the high D flat 7 from the F minor to the B flat 7. Now just sliding that up. But once again there, I'm getting only the 4 bottom strings, and that's kind of important. Not that there's anything wrong with playing all 6, but for this kind of song, if you're just chunking away at a rhythm, it's a better sound. It works better just to play the bottom 4. So now I'm actually going to play through the sheet that I sent to you. I'm going to play it slow. The song is slow anyway, but I'm going to play it 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm going to stop there because so you'll notice at the end of that second line, we play that single F minor and that kind of rings for 3 and 4. That chord there, you do want to kind of let that ring. And then we have a 2-beat measure. You see that 2-4? So we're going to play that last F minor, which is 3-4, and then count the 1-2. So it'd be like 3, 4, 1, 2, and then we start again. This time I'm going to go up high, up to the high one. Okay? And that's the basic pattern that goes through the entire song. So let's talk about some things to watch out for. We have the F minor coming up to the B flat 7. So if you're going to come down to the D flat 7 here in second position, keep in mind when you're playing that B flat 7 there, you see the ring finger there? So when we come down to that D flat 7, we can just slide that. And if we're going to do it that way, I tend to wrap my thumb over the top to kick out that bottom string. So when I'm playing this D flat 7, my thumb is kind of kicking out the bottom string, and my first finger is relaxed, kicking out this one. So I have a click on both the E strings, and I just, this way I don't have to be careful about how I strum, and that's also an important technique, learning to dampen those strings. So it may not seem all that important, but actually from the standpoint of guitar playing, damping strings is something that you want to be somewhat good at. So you can think about that when you're playing it. So watch out for that. The other thing to get the most out of this set of chord changes, now we're playing the F minor, coming up to the B flat 7. Now when we come down to that D flat 7 here, see the ring fingers on the A string. If you didn't want to have to bother with damping that low E string, whenever you're playing this particular 7 form, you can also put the ring finger down here, like that. You can have it here. When I have it here on the A string, I tend to wrap my thumb. When I have it here, then there's no need to wrap my thumb because I'm actually playing the string. So, you know, be aware of that. You can play that chord either way. So I'm going to play through it again. Now this time I'm going to play through the entire thing without stopping. Sometimes I'm going to come up to the D flat 7 here, to the C7, and sometimes I'm going to come to the D flat 7 here, to the C7, and sometimes I'll put the ring finger down here. So I'm going to kind of play all 3 varieties in the course of doing this. So at about this tempo, 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. So if you can play that much of it, you can essentially play the entire song. But there's still a lot you can learn by going through those progressions. We talked about quite a few things. If you're wondering too, I'll give you a little bit further explanation on this D flat 7 here, where we're playing on the inner 4 strings, 4, 3, 4, 2. When you're playing the chord in that form, these 2 notes here are the same. They're both D flats. So when you bring the ring finger down here, you actually add the 4th note to that chord. When you're playing the chord in this form, on the inner 4, you're only playing 3 of the 4 notes that complete that chord. When you put the ring finger down here, you're actually playing all 4 notes that are in that chord. Once again, that doesn't mean that one's better than the other. It just means that they are different one from the other. So that's a bit of information that you can keep in mind too. And as I said, the advantage here, you don't have to wrap the thumb to dampen it. When you're playing it this way, you probably do want to wrap the thumb, which may be a little tricky on your classical because the neck is so wide, but at least think about doing it that way, or perhaps play it on your electric guitar. Maybe is a better choice. But in either case, you can still practice it properly. So go ahead and go with that for a little while. I'm going to, unless you don't have any ideas, I'm going to come up with a new song to work on for an arrangement. And we also may talk about just some picking, some blues picking to use to solo over this, so you can get some practice playing some single notes. I can make a video just playing a rhythm track, and we can talk about some lead playing over this set of chord changes too. Okie dokie. Happy Memorial Day. Talk to you later.